on YouTube. This is your captain speaking. You're on the lifeboat. Captain Calhoun. Gonna talk some mental health today. I look tired. You know why? Because I am. I don't know. I think it all looks about the same. I might put that hood back on. Good morning, people. Good morning, good morning. There's an ad right here, I imagine. Intro. But yeah, we're gonna talk about mental health today. And in particular, my mental health. I missed you guys the last couple days, and that's mostly due to my poor mental health, I have to say. We're going to give people a chance to show up here, and then we're going to let her rip. As you can see, I'm still in the back of the vehicle. We are no longer in Aztec. We are now, I don't know exactly what city this is. We were headed to Cedar City for Yin on Fire, and we stopped at a friend's house along the way. I don't know exactly where I'm at, but we're probably an hour or two away from Cedar City, I would imagine. So the plan today is to go take a shower and pull up to rehearsal at 11 a.m. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Hey, Captain, sending you all the love. Sorry you're feeling it. It's good to see you, Millie. And never really talked about my own. And, I think that says a lot about my understanding of mental health and maybe my understanding of my own mental health. I have to say, what day was it? Not yesterday, the day before that. So today's Wednesday. So on Monday, I just had like a terrible day. It was like the worst day ever. And I can't remember feeling that low, sober, like ever. In fact, it was really scary. It was really, really scary to be in such a dark headspace in sobriety. I thought that was a byproduct of my drug use, and that's not the case. It's not the case. When I get really drained and I don't have what I need, when I don't have food, nutrition, sleep, my brain goes immediately to very, very dark places. And it's terrifying, and I decided to share that when I was a very young man. I resolved to not share these thoughts with anybody for fear of being put in a really long-sleeved jacket. You know what I mean? You picking up what I'm laying down here? But I chose to tell my dad on Monday. Everything is totally fine, Millie, I promise. I'm totally all right. This is not a new phenomenon for me. It's definitely something that I've dealt with as far back as I can remember, which is alarming when you think about it like that, right? But I'm still here and I'm not going anywhere, I promise, all right? We got too much going on these days. There's too much good stuff going on. But that being said, I chose to tell my dad. And he wasn't surprised. And then I chose to tell some of my friends, and they were also everyone that I told can relate. And I didn't tell a bunch of people, but I probably told 4 or 5 people, one of them being my dad, and literally every single one of them also experiences these same similar dark fantasies. And that was surprising to me, but also comforting. Very comforting. Dale Cox, good morning. Robin Miners, hello. Brianna Miller, Beta, Tina Marie. Tina Marie asks, was it scary because it was so bad or because you had to cope sober? It was definitely not scarier because I was having to cope sober. It was just scary to be in that mind state. I want you guys to know when the chips are down, no matter how bad it's going, I'm not going back to drugs and alcohol. It's just, that's not a thought that seems viable to me anymore. But it is scary, knowing I'm not engaging with these substances, right? I'm doing good, right? I'm doing everything that I should be doing, but I'm still having this problem. I think that when I get home, I need to have a real talk with my pops about going to therapy. I've never considered that as a viable thing before. I've never considered that as something that I would actually need. But I tell you what, there might be, I might need some help sifting through this childhood trauma and whatnot. I imagine that this is a byproduct of childhood trauma. And I was reading up, let's see. I wonder if the camera stops. Let me know if the camera stops when I do this, guys. I learned how to split screen the iPad today, but I'm pretty sure it stops the camera when I do it. I was researching So they used to put people like us in asylums, and they don't do that anymore. And I was wondering why. And it's a few things, a few reasons. One of them being money. One of them being asylums were considered inhumane and cruel. But also, now we have the prison system, and that's where people with extreme mental health problems end up these days. They end up homeless, and they end up in the system. They end up in a cycle that is very difficult to break. I also was reading that it's in federal law that inmates are to be provided mental health assistance when they need it. And it's also right next to that, I was reading that 2 out of 3 inmates with mental health problems are untreated. And we all know from listening to my dad about the treatment inside of prisons and whatnot. But that kind of blows my mind. I'm not saying asylums were a good move. I'm not saying that it was a humane solution. But I don't think that just letting these people waste away, get locked in some crazy system is a solution either. You know what I mean? I don't think that the way that we handle mental health as a society is disgusting, and it's scary, and people don't speak up. People like me resolve to not talk about these things for fear of, being outcast and locked down and taken away. So that in itself proves I don't have a great understanding of mental health, right? That's not what's going to happen. They're not going to put me in a straitjacket. You know what I mean? Everybody has weird thoughts. But this was it was a very interesting and scary experience. I feel a whole lot better today. I will say I was literally about to call off this whole trip. I'm glad I didn't though. Dale Cox says, yep, I got a lot of mental issues. Also Spanx. I got help for mine over 25 years ago, but still deal with my past sometimes. Well, thanks for sharing, Dale. I think I need a little help, guys. I think I need some help. I'm doing all right today, and it's not like if this had happened since I've been the captain of the lifeboat, y'all would have heard about it. So, it's not something that happens very frequently. In fact, like I said, this hasn't happened to me since being sober. So, but that doesn't mean it's less alarming. I would like it to never happen again. Obviously, we can't necessarily have that, but I think talking to someone that's an expert would probably be beneficial. I will tell you this. I'm super not into medications for depression. I'm super not into mind-altering substances in general. So, I don't really know what the end of that road looks like, and I would like to not have reservations. I would like to be open to all kinds of solutions, but I'm not going to be on lithium. I don't know what kind of drugs they have for this stuff these days, but that kind of stuff terrifies me. I've been a zombie, you know what I mean? I was a zombie on ADHD medication. That's not even that crazy. I'm not down. I will not sacrifice my feelers. And the trolls are out today. May blessings find you, Brian, somewhere else. Blessed to Crochet, good to see ya. Welcome in. It would do you good to talk to someone, I believe. I think so too, Dale. And I promise, guys. Matrix, it's good to see ya. I hope you're doing good. The Arabian Bard. Good morning, good morning. Brianna Miller asked, was it triggered by something or did it come out of nowhere? Well, I'm pretty sure it was triggered by not getting sleep and being trapped, feeling trapped, and not having nutrition, and maybe be a little bit of dehydration. So like the 3 basics, right? Sleep, nutrition, water. But also I was trapped in a car. I'm trapped going at other people's paces, and that really drives me nuts. And I think that I just didn't handle all of that well. I don't know if I, hypothetically, let's say I handle those thoughts and that situation a little differently, internally and externally. I don't know if that makes any difference. but I will. Those were the factors that were at play. We were traveling. We were like packing up to leave where we were before in Aztec, and it literally took like 12 hours, which is insane. It only took 12 hours because I'm the only one that can stay focused. It only took 12 hours because I'm the only one that wasn't taking their time. Which is fine, which is fine. I'm not the overlord of the universe. You know what I mean? I'm practicing my patience, right? But I was 100% trapped in a car, just wandering around. I mean, that's what it seemed like. We were running errands in town, but it was very frustrating. And I think that not having an outlet for that emotion and also perpetuating the situation and also not having what I need really, really turned into a scary mental state. Shauna B, good to see you. Wishing you peace and comfort. Please drink water. I'm drinking water right now, actually. I appreciate that. I have been doubling down on all of those things since. The big struggle is, at least the way I'm doing this right now, is the sleep thing. When we get to where we're going this time, I'm gonna pull my tent up somewhere, hopefully away from the loudest people in camp. It's interesting. I don't know whether I'm I feel like we all go camping to be loud or whatever, right? At whatever hour, but at some like point you're like just not caring like how I feel and what I need to do. You know what I mean? Like if we're like giggle monsters at 2:30 in the morning and like I've been asleep for some hours and you're waking me up and this is happening all the time, like I don't think that that's acceptable. You know what I mean? I don't think that's cool. Like you can justify that all day long, but like come on, man, meet me in the middle or something. So that's what's going on. The sleep is the biggest issue. If I next time around, I don't think that I'm going to do this without some sort of independence. There's hair in my mouth. That's why I keep touching my tongue. What's going on? Anunnaki from Texas. Welcome in. Flick Fox, Shannon Smith. Thank you for saying that, Shannon. This too shall pass, and you know that. Thanks for your kind words, guys. More than likely try to put me on meds. Just tell them you don't want that. Just need someone to talk to. Yes, sir. That is definitely how we're gonna start. And I'm open to the idea, but I tell you what, it's gonna take some serious convincing of myself to be open to the meds. Interesting, when I go through the YouTube app, the trolls come out much more. Well, I think, I don't think it's a terrible thing. They're not ruining my day. And honestly, maybe they'll go talk about it to their troll friends, and those troll friends will talk about it to their troll friends, and then more people will see the boat. I'm going to think about it like that. Sarah says, good diet, doing outdoor activities, and good night's sleep. Yeah, I tell you what, those are the game changers right there. All of those things are what I need. And I've been doing a pretty good job. Helena, good morning. Yeah, nothing wrong with taking meds if I need them. I agree with that, but if they're going to make me feel like a zombie, they're not doing their job. And I'm not saying that they're going to, but that's a fear that I have, right? Because that's how the ADHD treatment ended up going for me. So, again, I don't want to have reservations. I'm trying not to, but I definitely, I don't want to feel like I felt before. And those were much less hardcore prescriptions. You know what I mean? I was taking Adderall and risperidol and clonidine, and the stimulant portion, the Adderall, that one was switched in and out with other ADHD medications, but the clonidine and the risperidol were consistently used to balance out the tics. Like, look, if your medication is going to make you do this all day long, I think it's bad for you. You know what I mean? And that's that's what the other two drugs. Risperidol is an antipsychotic. I don't really know much about clonidine, but so you're going to put a kid on this concoction of nasty, and that's, I think, some trauma that I have. So, I would like to be open to some treatments, but that's going to be a hurdle I'm going to have to get over for sure. Deaudrey Gore, welcome in. That's a sunburned billionaire. And may blessings find you, brother. Brother! I want to say mean things to these people, but you know what? They wouldn't be acting that way if everything was right in their world. So, whatever. I have a pretty good life. I don't need to be nasty. Please put some electrolytes in your water. Get some sleep, Aunt KK. Yo, I actually bought a bunch of Pedialyte and have been drinking lots of water since this happened. Clonidine nearly killed me, says Helena. Was allergic to it. Feel like my heart skips a beat when I hear it mentioned. Ooh, well, I won't say it anymore. That is an interesting story, I have to say. Definitely not my favorite memory. You know what I mean? So I'm right there with you. Good morning, Lacey Silver. How are you? Speaking of, let's grab some of that Pedialyte right now. And you know I got grape flavor. I'm crazy about grape. We've got a cute little bear on the front. Let's go. Other than Lacey asks, how was the festival? Other than this really terrible mental health day that I was talking about, it was really, really good. Arthur Morgan, welcome in. Howdy, partner. Yeah, other than the bad, terrible mental health day, it's been really, really good. I met someone. It's been really good to get back together with the crew, and honestly, this has been like a journey or a hurdle that I've needed, a fire that I've needed to pass through, a journey that I've needed to go on. In order to like move forward, I need closure on this part of my life. You know, I don't necessarily think that my goals are the same as they were when I was originally a part of this thing. Like, I love spinning fire. I really do. I'm not entirely sure that I want to be on a festival circuit. You know what I mean? I do want to pull up and spin fire, but I don't think I want to be involved beyond that, you know? And honestly, I probably don't want to be camping in a tent. But, you know, these are all things that we're learning slowly. I'll always love fire dancing, but I think that sleeping on the ground or sleeping on, like, not a bed is for the birds. I think it's for the birds. Grape is the best, Aunt KK. I love grape. I've always loved grape. I'll continue loving grape. We've got great grapes, fantastic grapes. Nowhere else has grapes like this. Beta says, I needed some difficult life experience to fully accept myself the way I am, with all my sensory issues, the need to eat totally regularly, like every 3 hours, and sleep. I got my tincture right here, Dale. That's going to make me feel friggin' great. Part 2, Beta says, I understand where it comes from. Gene mutation, metabolic, and that is a real thing. All my life I was told I was overreacting. It turned out absolutely not. Don't you hate feeling like you were gaslit your whole childhood and then come to find out like I'm completely validated and the things that I'm feeling and thinking are real? Like, surprise. It blows me away when I tell someone my experience and they respond with, that's not real, or some version of that. They respond with, maybe you're doing this. Alan says schizophrenia, question mark. And you know, I have done a ton of research on schizophrenia since my experience the other day. And I don't necessarily think that's what's going on, but I also will say, I feel like that is a not very well understood disease. Let's see. I don't know if this shuts the camera down, but we're going to pull up my split screen again to pull up what I was reading about schizophrenia, because I want to read it to you. I would like to read this to you. This statement says to me, we know almost nothing about this disease. That's what it says to me. Dun, dun, dun. Is schizophrenia genetic? Schizophrenia tends to run in families, but no single gene is thought to be responsible. Oh, that's not what I was reading. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, how about this? In this early phase of schizophrenia, you may seem eccentric, unmotivated, emotionless, and reclusive to others. Those symptoms, eccentric, unmotivated, emotionless, reclusive to others, those seem like pretty arbitrary and random and honestly quite normal at certain points, symptoms of being a human. Does it not? Does it not? I'm not trying to like defend. I don't know. All I'm trying to say is, oh, it's because I did the split screen. Thanks for letting me know that. Now I know that you guys can't hear me when I split. Well, I can't remember what it said. Darn it. Unmotivated emotions, isolating, and something else. It seemed like some arbitrary darn symptoms. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely not emotionless. That's a good point, Shannon. That's a very, very good point. But, and I'm not trying to say that I have schizophrenia. What I'm trying to say is those symptoms are pretty regular. I mean, oh, you heard me? Sweet. Fantastic. But the video freezes. Okay, we're learning. I bet you I can have multiple split screens up on this thing. I'm just figuring it all out. Your son suddenly quit Scouts? Uh-oh, what's going on? How old's your son, Lacey? There are no grapes like our grapes. Everybody says so. We had the best grapes. They're all eating the grapes. They're eating the grapes. You know, I guess there's a positive. He's pretty funny to make fun of, you know? In my opinion, that's a great upside. Obviously, the commander-in-chief or the runner-up or whatever, the potential commander-in-chief, I don't think that meme worthy is a good characteristic, but it is kind of funny. The symptoms of, I just read on Google the early phase symptoms of schizophrenia. And here, one more time for the boys in the back, for the boys and the girls. It says eccentric, unmotivated, emotionless, and reclusive to others. Just seems regular. Just seems like regular stuff. 16 turning 17 in April. Interesting. You know, when I was young, I was in karate, and I ended up getting a brown belt 2nd degree. And then my sensei told me that I had to be with the dojo for 5 years before I could test for my black belt. And at that point in my life, that was like a little bit less than half of my life. I think I must have been like 11 or 12 tops. So I quit. I don't know if that's a similar thing that your boy's going through, but I regret that. But it was pretty inconsequential looking back. I'll keep your boy in my thoughts and in my heart, Lacey. He went from wanting to be a junior leader to quitting. Interesting. I wonder what the change of heart was all about. Have you asked him? Do you and your son have like a solid relationship? That's kind of a hard question to ask. You don't have to answer. I'm kind of, yeah. Oh, Brewsty. I haven't seen Brewsty yet today. Yeah, Beat, I agree. I feel like those symptoms are arbitrary. Brianna Miller says, as a kid, when I was dealing with crippling depression, I was told I wasn't praying or reading my scriptures enough. Never got this help I desperately needed. What kind of garbage is this? You know what I mean? I don't think that people that don't relate should be able to, like, be in charge. What am I trying to say? I don't know. When community leaders say such ignorant crap like this, it just really, really bothers me. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Community leaders shouldn't be so ignorant. And honestly, if our community leaders are this ignorant, we should oust them, because they're only making our world less. They're only spreading ignorance from a place of power. These symptoms like to dance with other partners. Mental health is so complex and interwoven, says Tina Marie. Trying to self-diagnose will really drive you crazy. 100%. And I'm definitely not trying to self-diagnose. I don't think that I have schizophrenia. But, you know, curiosity killed the cat, or whatever they say. I definitely was doing a bunch of research. Your intuition screams another. Interesting. I probably would trust your intuition, to be honest. My intuition has been wrong, right? But more often than not, it's not. More often than not, my intuition rings very true. And that's another thing. Stacey Allen says self-discovery is so vital. I think that one huge win from this whole trip is a bunch of self-discovery. In order to move forward, I need to know what I want. You know, I want to do this. It is Whack-A-Troll Tuesday. That is right, Blessed to Crochet. Good to see you, Mary Jones, by the way. I hope this message finds you well. But satisfaction brought him back. I love that, Deaudrey. Yeah, I need to know what I want to do moving forward. Obviously, I want to do the boat. Obviously, I love this. I want to take this as far as we can, right? But as far as other aspects of my life, I basically removed myself from everything to do this. And now that I'm phasing back into what I like to do, I'm realizing that I'm not necessarily the same person that I was, and I don't necessarily like the same things. I definitely don't want to live the life that I did want to live, right? So I'm forming new ideas, new dreams, some of them old with just new amendments, right? But that is definitely a huge win. Meditation is how I deal with a lot of my mental health problems I have, says Dale. And that's another thing. I require alone time and I require silence. And those are two things that are in very, very short supply around here. And I did bring headphones for this exact reason. I always bring headphones for this reason. But one of my headphones broke. It literally won't work anymore. I threw it away, so now I have one headphone. I'm gonna have to buy like some cheap headphones or something at Walmart. That'll go a huge long way, because then I can artificially isolate myself and be alone. But in order to recharge my batteries, I have to have silence and be alone. And when I say silence, like if I'm listening to music in my headphones, that's fine. But like external stimulus needs to be like shut off, because I can't continue to process information constantly and recharge my batteries. And that's something that I've been struggling with heavily. One of the members of our group just, I think silence makes them uncomfortable, so that they constantly are making noise. And I mean, I get it, right? But it is literally driving me crazy. Well, car batteries automatically turn off, I guess. We knew that, though. Hopefully Dale Cox is still here when I come back, so we can do some tincture. I think my tincture's right in here. Please talk amongst yourselves. Did it turn off again? It's cell phone reception here is poor. It'll bounce between 2 bars, 1 bars, and 0 bars, and the internet that I'm using is T-Mobile, so I imagine it's experiencing the same sort of connective consistency issues. Geoengineering, good morning. Repenti is coming. Don't know what you mean by that, but word to your mother. Cool. I'm gonna put the hair up because I don't want spice in my hair. It's an interesting day. Where's my hair tie? Well, no hair tie, whatever. Let's see what I missed, guys. I think my phone needs some more coffee. You might be right. I probably need some more coffee as well. Kathy Kewen, what is going on? Good morning. Did my dad post on the FB? What I guess I'll have to go check that out. Do we have anything exciting going on today? What did my dad have to say? Beta, you're totally right. The issue is I've kind of trapped myself. I've put myself in a situation where I'm not 100% independent. Like I have to rely on and make the best of the situations that I'm in, and rely on the people around me. So, and it's interesting, for all the love and understanding that my friends afford me, it's not limitless. It is not limitless. So, and I don't know. I can only do my best, and I can only ask for what I ask for, you know? So I hope he's going live soon. I love it when that guy goes live. People who are physically exhausted for days can even develop psychosis episodes. The most important thing is everyone has a different tipping point, and in terms of exhaustion, you know, what's interesting is, like, I'll say this to my friends, and I think that we have different priorities. It's hard to compare and like think about what ifs in this kind of situation, but I don't think that they fully understand, to be honest. Oh, my nose got sunburnt and it started cracking and bleeding. That's why it looks like that. I would love to look that up. Flick Fox? Although I hopefully not going to leave knots in my hair. Yep, that's the ramen. That's the ramen. Yo, and it's funny that you say that, Stacey Allen. Is anyone else really affected by the moon phases? I certainly am. I wasn't aware of this until afterwards, but the Monday in question that I had this terrible mental health day was a Virgo full moon, allegedly. I'm a Pisces. I'm like a water sign or whatever. Virgo's an earth sign. I don't put too much stock into astrology or whatever, but I mean, it was the worst day ever. And I felt better the next morning. It's very strange. Very, very strange. Yeah, no. I think my days of getting in fights are over. I think my days of getting in fights are over. Unless I have to defend myself and my loved ones, I'm pretty sure I'll just let it slide. I've been in countless fist fights, and none of them were fun. Not one. Pisces full moon. It was a Virgo full moon on Monday. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm regurgitating information. I did not do any research on that. That's just what I'm told. I am very affected by the sun as well. Hope between the dreams. And it's interesting. I feel like when I really give myself what I need and I'm like honest with myself about my sensitivities, I feel super not a part of. I feel special. I feel like unique. Not in a good way. I feel like I need special considerations. I feel like I need special treatment. And I feel stupid and bad asking for special treatment. And I feel even worse when I finally get the balls to ask and then it's not treated seriously. And some of the things seem arbitrary and small, like I need some silence. But like, it's not small. It's everything. And, you know, I can't make people understand. And to continue asking, to continue beating the drum, I think is foolhardy as well. But I tell you what, it is maddening. Or too much for that matter, right, Brianna Miller? Brianna says it's amazing how much getting enough sunlight can affect your mental health. Thank you guys all for the ones up. I appreciate you guys. All right, I'm going to do some tincture, y'all. It's the same stuff we always do until we get home, at least. By the way, I bought a ticket home. Not for tomorrow or anything, but I do have. Please don't stop reaching out. I promise. I promise I won't. Was that my phone? It was. Someone called me. Thank you for saying that, Beta. Beta says, I respect the way you're trying to take care of yourself, even if the circumstances are not the best. A huge hug from me. Thank you so much. Before I do this tincture, I guess I have one more thing to say. The circumstances are not ideal. And I totally, again, I almost called it off. And if I could just go home from here, I may have already. But it's more complicated than that. And the more time that passes, the better that I feel. And the more simpler and easier it is to just stay on the path that I'm on, right? There were no Greyhound buses. There were no airports. There were no any of that stuff where I was. And I don't know if there are here or not, but now we're here, right? And I don't feel crazy anymore. So I think I'm just going to finish the trip. But man, I was this close. If there was a bus that would have picked me up from where I was, I would not be here right now. So it's interesting. I don't foresee this being an issue again on this trip, but I definitely will be handling the next one differently. It's funny. I'm so excited to go to Hawaii, but now I'm like also scared. I'm also worried and nervous to go to Hawaii. I don't want to friggin' camp in a friggin' tent. And I can't like ship a nice tent because it's going to be really expensive. So I don't know. Some things need to be considered. I need the ability to be in charge of my own destiny because I can't count on others to keep me well. I'm the only one that's going to keep me well. Just heard an owl in the woods at noonish, says Rolling Stone. Apparently the moon and sun are getting to us. We love you, Spanx. Well, thank you. I missed you, Rolling Stone. I've missed all of you the past couple days. And I'm really glad to be here. So thanks for showing up and hanging out with me. And thank you very much all for the well wishes. I've been struggling heavily. I thought I was going crazy, guys. You know, I told my girlfriend about my dark thoughts, and she can relate. Told my dad, he can relate. Told my uncle, he can relate. Literally everyone. I told my friends, they can relate. But really, can they, though? I feel like if they could, they would treat this a little different, but whatever. No judgment. All right, let's just do this and forget about it, huh? For those that are new to the channel, this is pure capsaicin tincture. Capsaicin is the oil in peppers that make them spicy. So this is not a psychoactive. This isn't weed. This isn't this. This isn't that. This is just pepper juice. It's pepper oil. Down the hatch, baby. The other day I did some of this in camp with my friends. Oh, and it got in my nose. It was the worst. Was the worst. There's like a part of the roof of your mouth that like is connected to your nose. And look, I've had tears burning. I've had ears burning. The nose, the worst. The nose is the worst. Talk about discomfort. Talk about discomfort. Let me clarify. Wow, that's some intense stuff. I'm immediately at a 5, 6, maybe a 7. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, 7. I have not been practicing. Let me clarify. I do use it for pain, but I also use it to release endorphins in my brain. What was I going to say? Oh, the girlfriend. Little caveat. Y'all know this girl, and she's not really, I guess, like we're dating, but she has like a main partner. She's in like a polyamorous relationship. I've talked about this girl a little bit, and we've been emotionally invested in each other for over 2 years. And I decided one day, I was like, you know, I've been participating in a polyamorous relationship, whether I like it or not, just because I'm emotionally invested in this girl. So I decided, to hell with it. Why not enjoy myself? You know, this doesn't have to be my forever love. So, but yeah, this isn't a new girl. The girl that I met on my trip is going to be at this next event. So I'm excited to see her, but that's not who I was talking about. So I guess girlfriend's the wrong word. It's just easy to say. Spanx, remind me again why you take that stuff. Well, gives me a nice little rush. And it tastes really good. And it's, I guess it's threefold. I'm training for the Hot Wings Challenge at Charlie Wing Co. so I can get my face on the wall in my hometown. Shout out. I'm Modest. What's going on? Welcome in. Yeah, I hate feeling trapped, Brianna. It is the worst. I guess girlfriend and girlfriend. I don't know. We're not going to ride off into the sunset or anything, but she's a sweetheart. She's the sweetest, actually. Wow, that tincture hit me pretty hard. I'm still at like a 4. The endorphins have been dumped. It is still spicy. Does the other girl know you're in a polyamorous relationship? If you don't mind me asking. Lol. Yes, she does. Actually, both of these women are in polyamorous well, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't speak for Jessie, but she is in a relationship. And I don't know the details of it, but we spoke about it. And I started like thinking about it, and then I started talking with her about her relationship, and then I decided this is none of my business. I should just trust you to handle your business, you know? If this is something that I need to know, or if there's something, you know, some dynamic that needs to be talked about, we will. But it's not necessarily for me, so I trust her. We're not also, me and this girl are not going to ride off into the sunset either. But there is an undeniable connection between us. At the very least, I found a dance partner. Our dance chemistry is ridiculous, which is interesting. Both girls I'm talking about, I have really good dance chemistry with. Come to find out, that's important for me. Getting flashbacks to my early 20s and open relationships. I do not miss that drama. I know what you're talking about. I'm definitely in a drama-free zone right now, but I had to work really hard to get there. I do not want to be in polyamorous relationships. I would like a nice monogamous thing, but when I meet someone that I have a connection with, I'm not going to throw that connection out just because of their recent relationship decisions. You know what I mean? Ooh, my tummy's burning. No sweat, Blessed to Crochet. You're all good. You're all good. I think I can unhide. Nope, just kidding. Rise higher. Spanx, what help do you really need? You said if people really knew how you felt, they'd treat the situation differently. Please tell your girlfriend 12 steps, uncle, you really need. Well, I was referring to my friends and things that make them really happy and make me terrified. You know, the things that make them happy and make me absolutely insane. And they're pretty arbitrary things. You would think when the stakes are what they are, turning the music down wouldn't be such a big deal. You know what I mean? You would think that the volume of the music wouldn't be of equal importance to my mental health, or to me having a headache, or to me getting sleep. You know what I mean? It's like your desire to party. Wendy, I'll crush you. I got sunburnt, Coast cider, and then it cracked and bled. I also have peeling skin on my forehead. You just can't see it because it's not as bad. Oh, what was I talking about? Yeah, you would think that arbitrary things, like you would think that the volume of the music wouldn't be valued equally to my mental health or to me getting rest, you know what I mean? But it certainly friggin' is. And again, like do your thing, but I need to be able to do my thing. So I think a little more independence the next time around is going to be necessary. Obviously there's a disconnect here. Man, that tincture really hit my tummy hard, guys. Maybe I should eat a roast beef sandwich real quick. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning, y'all. What are we doing here? Oh, my tummy hurts real bad. Ow. You know, maybe I should call it a day, guys. Now I'm getting sauce on my blankets and stuff. Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. Certainly makes a difference. Then I'll see you guys later. 8 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow morning. And look out for my pops. He should be coming through with something awesome here in a little bit, I imagine. I have all of the above, Brianna Miller, I promise. All right, y'all. Much love. Have a great day, okay? We'll see you later.